Hey guys! In last week's video, I promised you a better option to kickstart your watercolor journey. So if you're looking for affordable palettes to try, then keep on watching. I have been excited to share this palette with you guys because it was the first set I bought when I branched out to watercolors. Before this, I used acrylics as my main medium, but when my friend recommended this Prang 8-pan watercolor set, I was hooked and I didn't really look back after that. Before we jump into things, subscribe if you want to see more art-related videos, give this video a thumbs up to let me know you want more reviews like this one, or comment down below if you have any suggestions for future videos. This watercolor set has a slender design with white plastic casing. On one side, we have 8 basic colors, and on the other, a few mixing wells conveniently laid out for us. Just like Symbolion, Prang provides a synthetic brush, which I found surprisingly easy to work with. There were a few stray hairs that I had to cut, but it held up a good tip throughout the painting session. Comparing this to Symbolion, Prang retails for twice the price with only half the color choices. So it may seem strange to recommend this over Symbolion. But let's try it on an actual artwork and see how it performs, shall we? Being on the cheaper side, Prang is less pigmented than artist-grade watercolors, so I had to compensate by picking up more paint than water. The advantage of Prang is that it had a honey-like consistency, which made it possible to pick up pigment with less effort. Symbolion's pans were so chalky and, well, crumbly that the brush had to be dripping wet to reactivate the paint, which then makes the color, again, washed out. Working with Prang was much easier. The color choices aren't anything to rave about, but you really have all the basic colors you need. You have red and blue to mix a nice violet, yellow and blue for some good greens, and a brown to neutralize any vibrant colors. Ever since I started watercolors, I have been thrown into the world of color and light. You could say I was drowning in ignorance the first few months, but once I was able to swim, my work started looking much more cohesive. I was surprisingly happy with this piece and enjoyed the painting experience much more. The brush also held up a nice tip and I didn't feel the need to switch it out, even when I was adding the smaller details. A slight rant about this palette. Prang rebranded, I think, a year or two back, and I was a bit bummed to find that they changed their color choices. I don't have my old set to show you guys because I foolishly gave it away to my younger cousin, but there was this particular cyan blue that I loved and used in almost every single piece that I painted. So here I was, excited to open up my new Prang watercolor set, and I opened it and was so disappointed to discover that my cyan blue was nowhere to be found. Have to admit though, this swatch of colors made much more sense, but still sad. Sad life. Talking a little bit about this piece, I was following 2 prompt lists at the time. This mermaid was a result of combining butterfly fish with Star Wars. So random. I know the hair reference was a bit of a cop-out and initially I didn't like her, but when I added the butterfly wing, it was sort of an aha moment. I began to question her. Things like, who is she? What's her story? Why does she have butterfly wings under the water? The only thing I was sure of was that this princess always dreamed of being a butterfly. How she knows what a butterfly is or where she got the wings, I have no idea. Maybe you guys can fill in the blanks. What do you think her story is? It would be interesting to hear your insights. Funny side note, I once told my mom about this habit of mine of interviewing my drawings. I thought everyone did it, but apparently not. Do you guys do something similar? Wrapping this up, the pros of this palette is the ease at which it reactivates and the smoother flow that it has on the paper when applying wet-on-wet technique. The brush included was surprisingly good to work with, and all this is affordably priced at 295 pesos, which converts to about around $6 US. $5.68 to be precise. I may be biased, but the only thing I would say that's a con for this is the limited color palette and the weird attraction insects find in it. Now, between you and me, most professionals would actually recommend starting with a limited color palette. The tendency to find dead insects in it, though, that's a bit more difficult. In conclusion, if you're looking for a cheap palette to feel your way into watercolors, then I would recommend you start with this set, so you can apply basic watercolor techniques like wet on wet, etc. Symbolion has a very chalky texture that would make doing these effects difficult for beginning artists, and I would like for you to have a pleasant first experience, so you'd be more motivated to do art. Tools should always make your job easier, and it should adjust for the artist, not the other way around. Paints like this is also great for familiarizing yourself with color mixing and color theory, but if you want some next level stuff, then stay tuned for next week's video because I have just the thing for you. In the meantime, don't forget to visit my shop for cute downloadable art prints. I post every Saturday, so make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell if you want to get notified for future videos, and follow me on Instagram if you want to see more content like this. With that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!